Hi everyone, it's Jeff here from Avada. In this video, I will take a look at how to use the Avada Woo Add to Cart element. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon to be notified of all new content. Okay, let's begin. The Woo Add to Cart element is a layout element that is typically used on a single product layout section as part of an Avada layout. I'm on the campaign prebuilt here, on the shop page. The products here do have an Add to Cart function, but these are being displayed through a postcard element, and in that postcard design, the postcard cart element is in use, providing the Add to Cart functionality. But if I go to a single product, the product here is being pulled through the content layout section of an Avada layout. This is where you would use the Add to Cart element. If you're not familiar with Avada postcards and Avada layouts, at this point it's a good time to go and check out these two incredibly useful features in Avada. They are both templating systems, but postcards are for displaying custom post types in a grid or carousel, etc., while Avada Layouts allows you to create a template for almost any part of your site. See the link documentation and videos below to get started on understanding these two fundamental aspects of modern website building. But let's look at this product. As I said, the content is coming from a content layout section in an Avada layout. If I mouse over Edit Live, we can see all the components linked to this page, and the product content layout section is one of them. I'll just Control-click, Command on Mac, to open this in a new tab. And here we have the Woo Add to Cart element. So this is a dynamic layout element for use in Woo products. Its purpose is very obvious, that it gives users a way to add their chosen product to the cart. But as we can see from the element itself, there are 5 tabs here, and all up there are quite a lot of options to choose from. This is because products can be simple or more complex, and so this element needs to be able to be configured and styled for all situations. Let's start with the General tab. The only options here are the ubiquitous Element Visibility option for controlling the visibility of this element on various screen sizes, and the CSS class and CSS ID fields for further customization with CSS. You generally won't need these options, so let's move to the second tab, Variations. If your WooCommerce products are just simple products and don't have variations, you don't need this tab. But here on the campaign prebuilt, virtually all of the products have variations, and this tab allows you to style that part of the Add to Cart area. As we can see here, the variations with this product are the flag sizes. The first option on this tab is Variation Margins. This is for the variations area as a whole. I might just add a bit of top and bottom margin here to space this out a bit more. The next 3 options control the variations cell, the area where the variations are displayed. To style this a bit differently, I could add a 1 pixel border around the cell, give it a border color, increase the padding inside the cell, and give it a background color with some transparency to tone it down, and the variations area is starting to look a bit different. If I then change the variation layout from stacked to floated, and set the label width back to 100 pixels, then I'm starting to like it. Text alignment is the next option, and here it's set to text flow. You can choose from the usual suspects, but in this case I will leave it at this. After that, there is a full typography set for the label typography. See the videos on typography for more details on this, as here I'm just going to leave this on the defaults. Okay, after this comes Select Style. Select options control variations whose attributes are using the select type. This type determines how this attribute's values are being displayed. And as we can see here on the Attributes panel, packing is the only attribute using the select type. And on this website, it's only the ceramic mug that's using select for its attributes. So to style this, I need to change to that product in my dynamic preview. So I'll go to the Layout section Options, and here I will select the ceramic product to be used for the dynamic content and click Preview. Okay, so here we can see the select options. Let's go back to the Element Options and the Variations tab. Here the select style options are already on custom. If I just switch back to default, it barely changes. But if we put it back to custom, we can see that the first option, Select Height, has a value of 50 pixels, down from the default of 65. You can also control the select font size and color, as well as the select background color and border size, color and radius. So there are options here to make it look however you want. Okay, the next section is swatch style. I know we have a product here with swatches, and that's the basic t-shirts pack. So let's go back to the layout section options and change the preview to that. Okay, back in the element, I'll just head to the variations tab again and scroll down to the swatch style. Again, we can see it's on custom. If I just look at the default, it's clear the main change here with the custom values is that the dimensions have been reduced from the default. I'll just set it back to custom and let's look at the options. There is a swatch item margin option here, and this allows you to control the margins around the individual swatch items. So for example, if I just add 20 pixels right margin, the swatches spread further apart. The next two options control the background color and active background color for the swatches. And as the description says, this applies to the color, image, and button swatch fields. The default color is color 1, and the active color is empty, so it stays the same as the background color unless you set it here. The swatch border size is next, and it has a default of 1 pixel all around. And under this you can set both swatch border color and swatch active border color. Then comes some specific swatch options. The first three are for the color swatch. The first of these is the color swatch dimensions, and here we can see they have been set to 40 pixels height and width. Then there is color swatch padding, which will set more padding around the colors. And finally there's the color swatch border radius if you want rounded edges on your swatches. After this comes some options for an image swatch. There aren't any image swatches used on this site, but they are the same 3 options as for the color swatch. Finally, there are 6 options for the button swatch. I'll just go and switch to the official drinking bottle, as that has buttons. Okay, first up is a button swatch dimensions, and here the height has been set to 40 pixels. Then comes button swatch padding, and you can set padding around all 4 sides of the button. There's also a border radius option, a font size option, and both text and active text color options. At the very bottom of this tab is the variation clear option. Here it's set to hide, so we won't see it. I'll just set it to inline and make a selection, and there we can see the clear link underneath. This is particularly useful if you have a lot of variations, but here I think hide is the right option. Okay, that was a lot of options. Let's just come back to our flag as the preview and move to the details tab. This tab controls the variation details area. This is displayed under the variations. If I just select a variation here, we can see the details of that variation. The options on this tab are much the same as the variations tab, allowing you to style the area as you wish. There's padding, background color, border size, border color, border radius, alignment, a typography set for the description, an order option for the description, a show price option, a price typography set, a show sale old price option, a typography set for the old price, a show stock option, and finally a stock typography set. As an example, I might style this area like this. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, after this comes the cart tab. This of course is where you style the quantity and add to cart section. Again, it has the same type of styling options as the other areas. It starts with a cart margin, and I'll just increase the margin a bit here to 30 pixels. There's also an option for the cart layout. Here it's on floated, but stacked is the other option. I think I will leave it on floated here. Alignment is the next option, but here as the layout is floated and the button is on span, there's no alignment possible. Quantity style is next, and here it has been set to custom. The next option, quantity input dimensions, has been utilized, making the area bigger than it is by default. The input font size has also been increased. As you can see, you can also change the input text color, the input background color, the input border size and color, as well as the button border size and the various button colors, both on regular and hover state. Finally, there is a set of options for the Add to Cart button. Again, this is on custom. If we set it back to default, it appears the only option required was to set it to span. But there are many options available. There is button size, button span, button border size, there is an option for an icon, and again there are styling options for the button colors on both the normal and hover state. There is of course the Extras tab as well, which allows you to add animation to the element as a whole. Okay, that's about it. The Woo Add to Cart element is a fundamental option for WooCommerce layouts, and as you can see, it's incredibly versatile. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for staying with me. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with all the latest videos. And if you have any questions or need assistance, please create a support ticket and our team will gladly assist you. As always, we want to thank you for choosing Avada.